It is our infamous game, a throwback game called Players Court. This is a mini version of the PCL. Now, I know you guys are waiting for the PCL and it's coming soon, but before the PCL, there was a Players Court. And this is when two of our panelists debate against each other, each get a minute, and the person as voted on by the chat that made the better point will move on. So we'll have Damien versus Big Ox and Chill versus Mars. So let's go ahead and get into it. First up, we're gonna go Damien and Big Ox. The first topic is going to be which player in the 2000s would you like to take and put on any mid team right now to make a conference finals run?
If I could choose any player from the 2000s to put on any team to make a deep conference run, I think the obvious pick would have to be Dirk Nowitzki. I think I take Dirk just because the way the game is played, a lot more spread out, a lot more spacing. I think he could take clear advantage of these teams with, just the difference in how they played then to now. He fits right in. He can kill in the mid range, which is coming back. Also stretch the floor out and expose teams from there as well. Dirk Nowitzki would fit in perfect with a lot of mid teams. I'll give an example. The Phoenix Suns. I think Dirk Nowitzki on the Phoenix Suns would change that whole entire team around. Him and a guy like Devin Booker, I think they work well off each other. I think that he could take the Phoenix Suns to, let's say, a 4 seed, maybe to a really deep
Does this player have to be retired, by the way?
In the 2000s.
Wow.
You gotta just
That's insane.
He just said from the 2000s. That's all he said. He didn't say anything about being retired. That's all he said, Damien. Was just from the 2000s. That's it.
Yes, they got to be retired.
You shouldn't even have asked. You should have just went with the answer.
That's what I would have said.
Well, Damien, you can do what you want to do. You can do however you want to do.
For the integrity of debate. For the integrity of debate, I'll do someone who's retired. And I'm going to take Miami Heat legend Dwayne Wade, because guess what? He went to the finals in the early 2000s, and the team wasn't great. It had Shaquille O'Neal, had other few pieces, but it took Gary Payton taking Shaquille O'Neal midway during the season when they were struggling and saying, "Hey, Shaq, you got to give the keys to the young fella because he's going to take us to the promised land." And Dwayne Wade did that by putting together one of the greatest individual finals performances we have ever seen. Probably the best 3-game stretch potentially we ever saw in the 2000s from an individual player in the finals. They were down to the Mavs and Dirk, by the way, for my competitor here sitting next to me. And Dwayne Wade carried that team all the way to the championship and the first one in franchise history. So I don't even need the whole minute run. I'm going to go with Dwayne Wade.
All right, y'all. The polls are queued up. Y'all got a couple more seconds to vote on that. And I'm going to let this poll run for about a minute. All right, y'all. While this poll is running, Mars and Chill, I will give you guys your next question. And your next question is, who's the best guard in the East? All right. It's looking like Damien is going to win this round. He took 64% of the votes. So, Damien, you will move on to the next round. And let's get into it. It is a minute on the clock. Chill, you going first. Talk to me.
I think that it's obvious who I think the best guard in the East is. It's Donovan Mitchell. I mean, I'm not going to waste anybody's time. He's leading all guards in the Eastern Conference. Well, not all guards. I'm sorry. Tyrese Maxey is the other guy ahead of him. But he's averaging 30 a game, 31, almost 31 a game, something like that. And he's having his best scoring season. He's been one of the most efficient 3-point shooting seasons that he's had in such a long time. He's passing the ball with the best of them this season. This Cavs team has been up and down defensively, but that's not due to Donovan Mitchell, because I think Donovan Mitchell has been really good on the basketball. As a defender, he's been really good in the passing lane. His pull-up jump shot has just been really good. I think it's been really good this year, and I think he's been the engine to this Cavs team that is only a half a game out the 2 spot right now. And I think that at some point they're going to be the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, and that's going to be largely due to Donovan Mitchell. So I think Donovan Mitchell is the best guard in the Eastern Conference.
I'll go with Jalen Brunson. I think he's been the most consistent playoff performing guard in the Eastern Conference. His scoring is very well documented in that setting. He's someone who can be a heliocentric player and dominate possessions and lead you to elite level offense. But he's even shown this year that he can play off the ball, shoots the ball at an elite clip, very crafty as a scorer. His consistency game to game is something that is very hard to replicate. Real Talk even spoke about it earlier that he's a plus, what was it, 16 net swing this season, very early on. Last year's, you're still seeing elite level impact. He's someone who can fit next to other stars. You don't really worry about clunkiness with him. He shoots the ball at an elite level. He's a much better playmaker and decision maker than Donovan Mitchell, way less turnover prone as well, able to dominate the possession battle in a way that Donovan Mitchell doesn't. I think he just helps you win on the margins. And also, if you want to talk about just like impact on winning, he's gone further in the playoffs than Donovan Mitchell ever has. So that's kind of cool with worse teams.
All right, the poll's queued up. Y'all talk to me. Who won this round? Chill or Mars? I'm gonna give y'all about a minute to go vote there. All right, Mars, you won the poll. Chill, unfortunately, you are out. So Chill, you are gonna have to chill with Ox. Mars, you will be advancing. Real Talk and Damien, you guys are playing now to get into the finals to go against Mars. The question that you guys are gonna get is very similar. Who's the best big in the East, excluding Giannis? Who's the best big?
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say that can't be a fair question.
The best big in the East, excluding Giannis, when he's healthy, is undebatably Joel Embiid. In the East right now, there's no one outside of Giannis as a big man who's won an MVP. When he's healthy, he is one of the best offensive players in the league. It's undeniable. He's a working 30-point, 10 rebound monster. He can play both ends. I don't think you can say the same for other bigs in the East, like Karl Anthony Towns and things of that nature. And when Joel Embiid is healthy, the Sixers are a legitimate championship contender. So I've got Joel Embiid as the best big in the East.
I'm going to go ahead and actually bring up the name that he brought up and tried to give a counter argument before I was able to go, but Karl Anthony Towns. I think it's very interesting that when presenting an argument for Joel Embiid, you always have to have that pre-qualifier of when healthy. You have to have that pre-qualifier of, when he's feeling right. Karl Anthony Towns right now isn't healthy himself, but he is playing through injury and still providing a lot of offensive value. The New York Knicks have one of the better offenses in the league. A lot of that is due to Karl Anthony Towns and the spacing that he provides at the 4 or 5 position. The Knicks also don't have that bad of a defense at all when Karl Anthony Towns is on the court. And in fact, the last time I checked, the Philadelphia 76ers actually have one of the worst defenses in the league when Joel Embiid is on the court this year. So that defensive point actually doesn't go against Karl Anthony Towns this season at all. So I'm going to go with Karl.
The poll is running. It's queued up. Y'all talk to me. That was actually a solid round. I enjoyed it. All right, the poll running right now. The winner of Real Talk and Damien will face Mars in the Players Court Championship. The next question that we're going to get is, and we didn't get a chance to really talk about this too much, but as you know, Nico Harrison got fired yesterday. And with Nico Harrison getting fired, there has been a couple rumors now about the Dallas Mavericks, whether they should trade Kyrie or whether they should trade AD, or the fact that both of these guys are getting calls now. Well, I want to know from you guys in the championship bout, where would be the best landing place for Anthony Davis? All right, the poll as of right now is 72% Real Talk, 28% Damien. Damien, it's not looking like you're going to pull this one out, my guy. Which team would you most prefer to see Anthony Davis play at? Or what would be the best landing spot? That's a better question.
Anthony Davis should play for the Miami 305 in the Big Three. Him and Michael Beasley will be a tremendous duo. I think we're at a point where if he just wants to be obese, go be obese in a league that doesn't require you year round. You can still block shots over there. You're going to get more of the isolations that you seek, since you want to lead offense, but you don't want to have to play the 5. In the Big Three, there's no such thing as a center. Everyone's the same size. Everyone's dribbling. Everyone's shooting. That's the game that Anthony Davis wants to play. They are the Big Three champions. They do have the best player in the league, so you can go be second fiddle like you've been comfortable with in your NBA career. It's a perfect fit for you. And life is just going to be a lot easier for Anthony Davis. He doesn't have to play with any pressure of pursuing a legacy. He's already a top 75 player of all time. Why not go enjoy the life in Miami while not having to be committed year round? You don't have to stay in shape. Like you said, you play your way into shape. You can do that in a Big 3 season with no consequence. Yeah, I think the Big 3 would be a perfect fit for Anthony Davis.
The Big 3 is an interesting choice. However, I think they offer more money over there with the Shanghai Sharks. So I'm gonna go. No, I'm playing. To actually answer the question, where I would like to see AD for real, I would love to see him in Minnesota. I think Minnesota kind of wants to get off their Rudy Gobert contract, and I think the pairing of Anthony Davis and Ant over there in Minnesota, you still get to keep a lot of that defensive identity. Obviously, when Anthony Davis is healthy and right, they would still have one of the best defenses in the league while also being the far, far, far better offensive player than Rudy Gobert, which has kind of hampered them throughout a lot of their playoff runs, right? They have to always balance the fact that Rudy Gobert does lead to elite defense, but he also sometimes is killing your offense. So I think AD to Minnesota, replacing Rudy Gobert, giving them a real two-way center, they could be a legit contender.
The poll is hot right now. It's running. Y'all go ahead and dive in and do what y'all do best. Who won this round, Mars or Real Talk?
Mars, if I didn't know you,
both good performances, by the way.
I was about to say, Mars, if I didn't know you, if I didn't know you, I would be like, yo, you know what? That Big 3 that doesn't sound like a bad idea. To be honest.
Thank you.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, Mars, actually, you made a very
Mars can make any argument.
I didn't know you. I'd be like, you know what? That don't sound like a bad idea. I might be. Well, let's talk about that a little bit more.
Guys just boring, man. They're not trying to hear thinking outside the box.
I'm good. No.
Man can't play consistent games. I'm giving him a 20-game schedule. We're trying to give him another 82 games. Like, talking about.
The problem that I'm having is him. Okay, we traded a guy for the same problem that you are bringing us. That just doesn't look good. That's an awful thing. And then it turn around and go, it really ain't that bad. I promise I'll just play myself into shape. Oh, no, that makes this thing even worse.
Real talk,
you're actually not playing yourself.
So you were saying AD instead of Rudy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, trying to make a trade for that.
Yeah, how would you like him with Rudy, though, in Minnesota?
The spacing gets clunky for them. And Julius Randle is actually playing phenomenal basketball. Actually, Ox, when you brought up another player that I would love to see Minnesota go after is y'all's PG and Dennis Schroeder. I think that'd be exactly the kind of point guard they need. Like they swap out Mike Conley and get Dennis. They keep that defensive identity. I think Dennis Schroeder is he's still a really good pick and roll player. He allows Ant to be more off ball, you know what I'm saying, and just score the basketball. Yeah, I would love to see Dennis in Minnesota with that crew.
Shit, y'all can add Dennis for Rudy.
For Rudy, you'll get. Hey, you're gonna enjoy Dante DiVincenzo. You're gonna love him. You know what I'm saying?
Come on home, Dante.
All right, Real Talk. Well, the polls is over, and it's looking like my man RT is back-to-back Players Court champ. I see Real Talk. Is it any victory lapping you would like to do? Is it anything you would like to say? Is there any way that you're feeling right now?
I got a lot of hate. In my Twitter replies when I posted my picture joining the panel, and they talking about, what you mean 50, 40, 90? He's not a 50, 40, 90 shooter. Nigga, I don't miss. First team all debate for a reason. I don't miss. When I come correct. And when you step to the champ, as an old panelist used to say, you best not miss, nigga. And I'm here. What you talking about? It's the player choice way. Yeah, them boys don't get it started. The player choice way. The player choice way. Come and switch lanes into the player choice way.